Hey, how's it going, everyone? I'm Nathan from the ebook reader blog. Some folks were asking for a comparison between the Kindle Paperwhite 4 on the left, that's the 10th generation model that was released in 2018, and the new Kindle for 2022 on the right. So, I mean, these two devices are more similar than they are different. It all mostly just comes down to the design differences. The Paperwhite has a flush front screen, the Kindle has an indented screen. They've also trimmed down the size quite a bit, and it's also about 25 grams lighter than the Paperwhite. Battery life's listed about the same, so not a huge difference there. But I mean, it just kind of comes down to the design. With that flush front screen, it is a little bit more reflective, as you can see in the top corner right there. Shows fingerprints a bit more. So when you look up close, you can kind of see with the new Kindle with the indented screen, the text is just a little bit clearer. It kind of always has like a little bit of a filtered effect when you have that flush front screen on the Paperwhite. So that's really the main advantage with the new Kindle. They have the same 300 ppi 6-inch screen, but looks a little bit sharper without the flush layer. The back, the Paperwhite has a soft rubbery coating, and the regular Kindle just has sort of this plastic design on the bottom here. The Paperwhite has the older micro USB port, and the Kindle has the newer, USB-C port. So as far as functionality on these two devices, they're virtually identical. They have the same software. They basically have the same front light, so they don't have the warm front light option that's like available on the newer Paperwhite. Front light uniformity seems to be about the same on both. I really can't say one's better than the other. They pretty much look exactly the same. So yeah, you don't have the warm front light like on the newer model, but they both have the adjustable front light, and they both have dark mode for night reading. So really not much difference. It's just, like I said, the difference with the design. The Paperwhite's waterproof. That's one main advantage for it. The new Kindle has 16 gigabytes of storage, whereas the Paperwhite came with 8, or you had the option for 32. Amazon also offered a cellular version of the Paperwhite. They don't have that anymore for the newer Kindles. One thing with the newer Kindle, though, it does support dual band Wi-Fi, where the Paperwhite did not. So like I said, the software is literally identical on these two devices. The only one minor difference I can find is the Paperwhites have the option to disable the touchscreen to help avoid accidental presses with that flush front screen there. If your thumb's overlapping the screen, you don't really have that problem with the indented screen because you have more space there. But that is like the only difference I can find software-wise. However, the new Kindle is faster. It's faster to turn pages. It's faster to like load menus. Some things are the same. But as you can see here, page turns are a bit zippier. Just navigating the interface in general is just a little bit quicker on the newer Kindle. Same goes with the newer Paperwhite 5. They just improved the performance a little bit, so it's definitely an advantage. The main advantage for the Paperwhite is just the fact that it's waterproof. It's also, it's subjective, but the design, it's just a little bit nicer. If you had them in your hand, it just seems like it's a little bit nicer quality device. The entry-level Kindle, it's kind of, it's a cheap model. It's just like cheap plastic. It's nothing, no frills or anything. The flush screen does make it seem a little bit nicer, and the rubber coating on the back. But the newer Kindle is quite a bit smaller. I like how the bezels are a lot smaller, especially that top one. I never understood why the older Paperwhites always had that huge giant top bezel. So yeah, the new Kindle does have a bit of an edge with the portability factor, being able to stick into a pocket a little bit easier, a little bit lighter, a little bit thinner. And I do like the fact that the screen's clearer without that flush layer. Kind of depends. Some people like the flush layer better. It's not a huge difference either way, but it's just sort of one of those personal preference things. So like I said, the new Kindle is a bit faster, but some things, like opening the table of contents and jumping around, not much of a difference as far as speed goes when you're comparing the devices that way. It's kind of weird. Some things are faster, some things aren't. One of the changes with the entry-level Kindle for this generation is Amazon added the dark mode support. So the previous model did not have that, but now the entry-level model has that, like the Paperwhite as well. So you can have the white text on a black background. Good option for night reading since they don't have the warm front light. Some people like to use this. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video right here. I just want to show you guys the differences between the Paperwhite 4 and the new entry-level Kindle. Like I said, software is identical, and it just basically comes down to a few hardware differences. The new design, the flush screen versus the indented screen, and being a little bit zippier with the newer hardware. So thank you guys for watching this video. Check out the ebookreader.com for the full review of both these devices. I also have some other comparisons with the newer Kindle Paperwhite, the Paperwhite 5. It's got the larger screen, the 6.8-inch screen, and the warm front light. So it's a little bit more of a noticeable upgrade over both of these, whereas these two are a lot more similar. Obviously, you have the USB-C port added with the newer Kindle, and you've got the waterproofing on the Paperwhite. But functionally speaking, there's really not a whole lot of difference between these two. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.